Parenting OCD tips. We can have a bit of a recap today. We're actually on video, what are we on now today? Video 28 out of 30. And I thought I'd do a quick recap because obviously within the other videos I've covered lots of stuff on how to start managing OCD in children and teenagers. So it begins actually with educating yourself as to what OCD actually is. Because as I explained in earlier videos, I admitted to do this really because I suffered with OCD myself and I thought I knew what OCD was and I thought the best way of tackling it. But of course, I was always going to feed it, being an OCD sufferer myself. So the first thing to do is to educate yourself. And a quick recap of what OCD is, in simplistic terms, is obsessions, which are the intrusive thoughts, the compulsions, which are the actions you do over and over again, thinking and believing that it's going to calm the anxious thought. And then it's the disorder bit, and this is the bit that's really important. This is where the thoughts get stuck in the child's head, and unlike general anxiety, they don't release, and therefore it starts to impact then on everyday life, where they'll start carrying out these compulsions over and over. So yeah, to educate yourself, not to ignore early signs like I did. I mean, we've covered what the early signs are. It's basically doing something over and over again. Examples can be like washing hands, showering over and over again if you've got contamination OCD. It could be tapping, it could be counting. There are all different themes of OCD, but basically it will be where these thoughts result in a child doing an action over and over again. So if you suspect that this is your child, get help straight away from your GP so that you can go on a waiting list and get professional therapy and start exposure therapy. Which leads me to the next tip, which is to carry out exposure therapy. Begin by separating OCD from your child. Give OCD a name. As you all know by now, I call mine Hank. You can call it anything. It could be Bob, it could be Fred, it could be Mr. Bossy. It doesn't really matter. Have some fun thinking of a name with your child and create a character if you want. And always refer to OCD by that name because it's important to remember it's not your child shouting or having OCD meltdowns. It's OCD's voice that's shouting. And that will help you, A, not to react to it and reassure it so much, and also not to take it personally. We then went on to cover ERP therapy, exposure prevention response therapy, and what it entails. It can be even down to how you communicate with OCD. You can feed it by communicating. Remember I said not to call it their OCD because it's separate from them, and not to say they can't do something because of OCD. They can do it, they choose not to. So changing the word to won't instead of can't can be powerful. So communication can be powerful. You can pin images of the fear word onto the wall. You can build up by writing the word, saying the word. Then exposure therapy can be delaying compulsions. It can be reducing compulsions. It can be changing hierarchy. It can be tackling avoidance of buildings or people and just building up very, very slowly and gradually so that your child then eventually eliminates a compulsion by compulsion. But you have to do this really, really in tiny, small steps because this is going to be a very scary process for your child and you're going to hit a lot of resistance. I also gave you tips on how to tackle any resistance to therapy. They included checking whether the time frame is a realistic one. For example, you might have agreed on a time frame of a week and a realistic one might be more of 2 weeks or a month. Breaking the challenges into super small steps. You might not have broken it up into small enough steps. It could be having the right sweetener in place because like I said, every child has got their currency. Just check that the reward does fit with the enormity of the task they're going to be tackling. Not to forget to reward, that's really important as well. If you've agreed a reward, then make sure you do stay consistent with the rewards. And it's just really finding ways of making this a less challenging process, not just for your child, but for you too. So I hope this quick recap on OCD and how to help parents and make parenting OCD easier. I do offer products that can help parents as well, where I share methods and OCD strategies that work for us as a family when helping my own daughter free herself from OCD. These include, I've got children's books for 5 to 8 year olds, I've got an ebook, a digital ebook to help parents, and I've also got a workshop that's on the Teachable site. I'll pop a link to my website in the comments and you can access all further information about my products on there. So hope this parenting OCD tip has helped you today, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos I make on this topic.